السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان والقرآن والإسلام وبمعرفتك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Yeah. We have been studying the section Araf of the Quran, and we studied up to the first, up to the 123rd verse of this section. We have been discussing this story of Moses, mentioned in some parts of the story of Moses mentioned in this section Araf. And we said they asked for Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked the people, his own counselors, and to call all the magicians and to challenge this. According to them, their understanding was he is also another machine. Moses was also another magician. And they called, and the magicians said, okay, we are going to throw, who's going to throw the magic? They said, Moses said, go ahead. And they did, but Moses didn't know what to do. God told him, okay, you throw your stuff. We explained what it really means, throwing the stuff, and stuff is swallowing all their magics. We extensively talked about them, and we don't want to bother you again and again. So the magicians understood that Musa was not a magician. Of course, we have to bear in mind, Musa had been spreading the message as a prophet. Whatever Allah gave him or revealed to him, he got it and was teaching. People used to hear what Moses was saying, but they took it. We will discuss this matter from their perspective, and they rejected it. What is he talking about? I think he is after something. We discussed extensively about the psychology of this approach, because whatever the people think of themselves, they reflect this understanding on the opposite side as well, or whoever opposes them. That is very human attitude. For example, if I think that money is very important, and if somebody is challenging me, I would take for granted even that this person also wants to get more money and wants to win me over, because that is my mind is occupied with. So they didn't take notice of it, but when they saw the strength, when they saw this or experienced the strength of the message of the prophethood in front of everyone, they brought their magic, it means interpretation of how they understand the world and how human happiness can be achieved. And of course, their human happiness is this described or defined in terms of bodily and worldly experience. Moses came up with his stuff, his message, representing his message, but we shouldn't really deny that these people were only experiencing the message, but at the same time, the miracle created by God and presented to the people through the hands of Moses, the prophet. That is very prophetic nature, that the prophets must have been given miracles, because people wouldn't believe them. They didn't have time to study the message. We repeat this. It is very important. It is their right to expect something extraordinary will happen through the prophet, so they will take the prophetic message seriously, saying that this man is definitely supported by the one who created the universe. So in his time, it could have been happened. We don't know historically, but the Quran says this is how it happened. But we know Quran mentions this kind of events as they appear to be in this world. So we have to get into their meaning. We understand that Quran narrates this kind of narration, this kind of events, and narrates to me who has no idea at all what happened, where happened, and I have seen it. I haven't seen any eyewitnesses narrating it to me. Only the Quran mentions. But still, Quran says this happened to me, and by definition, I'm kind of summarizing what is the gist of reading the stories of the prophets mentioned in the Quran. So Quran, by definition, is a universal speech to every human being at all times, starting from the revelation date, which goes back to early late 6th century and early 7th century in the life of the prophet, where it took place in Arabian Peninsula. Well, what is it to do with me? But if the Quran narrates an event happened in the past, which is beyond my comprehension, there is no evidence for it, so that I can confirm it. And even I confirm it, what is the benefit of it? I don't know. What is the benefit? Most of the prophetic, for Abraham's, Suleiman's, Noah's miracles, the other prophets' miracles, Jesus' miracles, are gone away. I don't know. Even I knew what happened historically recorded, so what? What am I going to do with it? This point is very important because it is generally missed out from the minds of the Quran readers, Quran students. Not all of them, but majority, most of them. But some people are very careful, and they don't miss it. but they are rare cases. Ordinary people love stories, but those people, of course, consider and question what is the point in mentioning this. So it must be related to me. That's why the Quran narrates it to me, not because something happened in the past, but what happened must be really related to my practical life now. And I have to get some lesson from it. This is what we have to be very careful while we are reading at least a third of the Quran, if not half of the Quran. Half of the Quran is about narrating what happened in the past, including Prophet Muhammad's life. Peace and blessings be upon him. He struggled a lot for us to convey the message, to save the community. Allah saved, but as a human being, he strived his best. So now people knew what the prophet Moses was teaching them, and when they saw in the narration of the Quran this extraordinary, miraculous event happening, they understood that what this man is saying, I am employed by God, this is not a magic. It is impossible to be performed by man. I know if it was possible, we would do it the best. He is not an expert magician. He is not famous as a magician. He has not been trained as a magician, but comes up with an extraordinary event and really disqualifies our magics. I think we should get this point seriously. Now, for me, what am I going to do with it? For me, yeah, this happened, might have happened, or could have happened because the Creator can do it, because the prophets must be employed by the Creator. Why? After studying the message, totally being convinced about the content of the message, I say, look, this book mentions something really, the reality of this universe and reality of me. I agree with it. So it must be from my Creator. So my Creator narrates this event, and there must be a reason for it. What is the reason? Not the event itself. Why? The way the event is presented to us must be taken into account, that I should relate it to my life. Now, what happened? Magicians submitted themselves to what the prophet Moses was saying. I am employed by the Lord of the universe. Okay, we accept that the Lord of the universe, who created the universe, is real God that Moses was mentioning. Not Pharaoh is God. His father died, and he's going to die. We know that he eats, and he is a temporary being saying, I am God. But the prophets also eat, they die, but they don't say, I am God. I'm a created being. I am subject to the will of my Creator. There is the essential fundamental difference between what Moses claims, that the universe has an owner, must be the originator of this universe, and my Lord is the one who originated this universe. It means created this universe and continuously changing it and demonstrating his qualities and introducing himself to me. See, even now, it doesn't have to, I don't have to go to the beginning of the universe. I am experiencing everything is new now. Yesterday is completely different from today, was completely different from today. Tomorrow it will be different as well from today. So he is always presenting himself to me and expecting me to confirm him as the source of existence of this universe. So magicians understood, and the magicians said, we believe now in the previous verse, we believe now in the Rabbul Alamin, the Lord of the universe, and Rabbu Musa and Harun. We talked about the importance of why Rabbul Alamin as well as Rabbu Musa and Harun, because Musa's message, and supported by Harun, his brother, or another prophet, together supported by his brother Harun, and they are mentioning that the universe must have an owner, must have a Lord who has been taking care of whole universe, and owner of the universe. No one can have any share in his ownership or in his creatorship. No one can create. I say we see that what is happening in the universe is exactly what Moses says. So Qur'an is teaching us to pay attention, not to separate between the creator of the universe and the messengers of this creator, because they declare the same thing. So there is no difference. Either I say I believe in Moses' Lord, or I say I believe in the Lord of the universe. It's the same, because Moses says, my Lord is the Lord of the universe. As a prophet also, messenger also, my Lord is the Lord of the universe. So there is no difference. They accepted and prostrated. It means completely submitted themselves to the creator of the universe. It means they explained their existence in terms of, I am owned by the one who owns the universe. No one can own me. No one else can own me. That is what the declaration. And combining the prophetic message and the universe's own message in its own creation, they must be harmonious. In any text which says, I am revealed by the creator of the universe, it must be supported by the universe, because they cannot separate it. The universe says something, and the messenger says something. And also it must be united with the human senses. I must be completely happy with the message that the prophet narrates it to me, or relates it to me, conveys it to me. So 123rd verse with قال فرعون آمنتم به قبل أن آذن لكم. Oh, what is going on? How dare you believe in him before I give you permission? Well, because he is the Lord, he thinks. So it must be a conspiracy you devised, you invented in the city when I got agreement with Musa and arranged it before. Why? To drive out its people. Why? This is important, but soon you will see. That is the threat now. I will show you. Okay. The threat side we will discuss later on. Let's say to drive out of its people. Why? I wonder this. Well, really, let's think about it, reflect on this point together. Why these people don't want to accept or don't accept? What is the reason? What's the obstacle? We have to understand the psychology of kufr. It means denial. We have to understand. If someone defines himself, I am only a body. Happiness is my bodily happiness. As long as I have a comfortable, relaxing atmosphere, residence, a beautiful house that I enjoy, and my food is perfectly arranged and I'm out of trouble, that's it. But the prophetic message doesn't say this. Prophetic message speaks completely from another platform. Why? It says, if you want to have a happy life, first of all, you have to make your feelings satisfied. So that your feelings, I keep repeating this expression, which requires infinite blessing, infinite comfort, infinite relaxation, infinite happiness. This world doesn't provide it. This world is dumb, doesn't know. They are just happening in this world. They exist in this world as they are created. They cannot really choose anything and listen to my feelings and accordingly adjust it. Only the one who created my feelings can do it, because he created with it. He created me with it. We have to understand this logic. This is very logical. So this man says, I am looking for a comfortable house or residence or palace. He is telling me something story. What story? Something imaginary. Why? Spiritual satisfaction. What spirit? There is no such thing. That is the fundamental psychology of deniers. They cannot grasp the message. We call it arrogance. We call it not really wanting to see the reality. In its essence, that is true. Why? They don't really question their decision about their existence, about their reality. They take the word as it happens on daily basis. And that is what I am. Condition themselves in this within this understanding, that is what I am. I want perfect food, perfect satisfaction in terms of my body, maybe my hormonal desires as well. And comfortable residence, beautiful gardens, and whatever they want in this world. And this man is not promising anything to me about this. How can I follow him? He says, your spirit will be satisfied only with the creator of the universe. You know, if you like, they are speaking from two different platforms. So they cannot cross. So unless somebody changes his idea and says, who I am in this world, questions his reality, listens to his feelings, what do they want? Who can satisfy you? What can satisfy your feelings? They would never get the message and take it into themselves at all. So There is no need to argue whether God exists, God doesn't exist. No, I don't really give any credit to this kind of debates and arguments. My personal attitude is this: if I come across a person, the first thing I say, first of all, my friend, define yourself, who you are, what you are. What do you want? Have you ever thought of yourself, who you are? Because everything is there. There is no need, look, there must be a creator, the matter is damp, and that matter is not alive, matter has no qualities. It will come later. If someone says, yes, I want full satisfaction, as far as my human side is concerned, not my bodily side. My bodily side needs a comfortable house, and I will be an arrogant person in this matter and order people do this for me, and I will get satisfaction. I don't know why people want to satisfaction, since they don't acknowledge their feelings. Arrogance. They should leave arrogance aside. That is why we have to start from describing, defining ourselves in order to search for truth. Because, for example, this morning I said I laughed at myself. I was looking at the weather forecast, whether it was going to rain or not, because I was going to hang something out to dry. And I looked at it, and it says it is going to dry. In the morning, it is going to rain. So I said, okay, I have to hang the things inside the house and close the top. Later on, I said, oh, I'm going out now, and is it cold or not? I didn't notice. What was the degree, whether it is cold or not, so that I will wear my coat accordingly. So I was so surprised. Why didn't I pay? And then I checked again. With this intention, I noticed the degree. What does it mean? It is a very simple example. Whatever you notice, whatever you pay attention, you don't see the rest. That is very human. Yeah. So we have to define what are we looking for. In order to understand this, who I am, that I need what. That is very important. Look, Pharaoh says they are trying to make the device so that to drive out of its people. Why? Because this is the worldview of Pharaoh. I am the owner of this people. He thinks of only within his own terms. That is what happens. For example, a materialist scientist, he has to interpret everything in terms of matter. You cannot explain anything, expect anything from these people. Why? Because they decided that matter is the fundamental of everything, and everything is coming from the matter. This is the result of the matter, because matter is their source of existence. If they don't, for example, want to read a book, but if they admire the power of the book, the design of the color of the book, you mentioned that this book is wonderful. He says, yes, it is wonderful. Right. He agrees with me, but he means the power. You mean the information, knowledge in it. If you say to him, look, we need to learn. What? What are you talking about? What am I going to learn? It's a beautiful design on the cover. I love it. On the cover of the book. I love it. What am I going to learn? It is beautiful. That's it. I enjoy it. You cannot cross your ideas. Everybody looks from his perspective, depending on his definition of himself. And then it goes back to definition of the creation. Because if I see myself not a lump of meat and bone and blood, but see myself, all my feelings within me, if I see the book, and I love it because it is knowledge, I am reading, I'm benefiting from it, exactly, I will look at the universe on the same line. How? Saying what this universe is telling me. Because I didn't define myself as matter. What this body is carrying in it, what this book is carrying in it, what this universe is carrying in its existence, which kind of qualities are manifested there. So what we learn from this takeaway from this verse, our takeaway from this verse is Firaun looks at Moses and the other magicians who submitted themselves, of course, gave up their magics and agreed with Moses and submitted their being to the creator of the universe, Lord of the universe. So agreed with Moses' message. According to him, these people devised something in order to take away his slaves. Oh, because according to him, one can have the power only to get the slaves. That is why he trusts it's his own power. Understood. Inshallah, this verse was very interesting. I said, we have to go the psychological analysis of this iman and kufur. Where do they come from, originate from? Why they cannot really understand each other? Because revelation understands the deniers. Why? Because revelation doesn't deny the body. But they look at the body and investigate how it can operate, and within the body, how the feelings can exist and what the feelings are telling, what the body is telling. And this man reduces human beings to body only. So deniers, as long as they insist their pre-accepted biased ideas, they will never ever get what the prophets are teaching them. But the prophets know that they are only talking about the surface of body, the matter itself, not what it includes in it. How it becomes very precious, the universe, and how human beings become very precious. Can you love a person who is very arrogant, very aggressive, but who has a beautiful body? Ask the married people. Body is beautiful, but the person is horrible. I cannot bear him. Because we, in fact, human beings are ingrained with communicating with other human beings through feelings, not only bodily. Unfortunately, secular civilization spends everything, just bodily decorations, human bodily decoration, house decoration, garden decoration, beautiful car, etc. All matter, and that is interested by these people. Matter, if you like, matters. Nothing else. This is civilization. But sometimes they say, of course, we have human feelings. Yeah, that's the good side of it. We don't deny. We have human feelings and we should respect human feelings. Yes, we should. Okay. We understood this, I think. If you have further comments with this essential subject to me, I said, if we really discuss this matter and understand this matter, it is worth it today to come together, inshallah. But we can go further. Okay. Any comment from you? Questions, concerns? Okay. Anytime you can interrupt me. But so Pharaoh, at the end of the verse, uses his power, arrogant power, and says, but soon you will see it. Yeah, what am I going to do now? You will see what will I do to you now. Using power. No counter argument. Because they cannot say anything about the meaning of creation, meaning of human beings, cannot say anything. Because they don't acknowledge their existence by anyways. That is why secular scientists don't accept that the universe has a meaning conveying about the quality of its maker. No, they reduce it to matter itself. Matter is like this, wonderful matter. My body is like this. There's no human mentality, no human intellect, no human feelings. No, this is what I am. So threatens, uses his power, and the messengers and the people who follow the message, they don't use their power. Only God uses his power to stop these people when they really exceed their limits. Now, goes beyond debate. Okay, you say this, I say this. God never interferes that. But when they start physically attacking, God says, okay, prophet, take your weapon and defend yourself. And do whatever is needed to do in order to save your life and save the message, continue to spread it. Otherwise, prophets never said that, no, I have my army as well. I challenge you. None of the prophets said this, especially we know in the life of the prophet Muhammad, he never said, if you punch me, I will punch you. No, because he said, if Allah, God, orders me to do something, I will do it. Otherwise, what shall I do? He is my protector. He will take care of me, not myself. But those people who depend on their own power, of course, they will say, I am going to destroy you. So the last verse on the screen now, لأقطعن أيديكم وأرجلكم من خلاف ثم لأصلبنكم أجمعين. Now, definitely, I will certainly cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides, then crucify you. Okay. Opposite side, the people of the Quran or the commentators of the Quran argued about min khilafin. It means, it has various meanings actually. The most fundamental meaning, which is not very famous, khilaf means really opposition. But not necessarily the opposition of the hand and feet, but opposing the prophetic message. Min khilafin, because of your arrogant opposition. That is one meaning the scholars argued. And the other meaning is not obeying somebody, disobeying it, not necessarily coming up against it, but not following it. Khilaf also means this. At the same time, the literal meaning of it. And another one, the third one is the one side of the leg and the right side of hand and left side of the leg. So we can understand this opposing ideas. Physically, what it means, I will really cripple you down. You cannot do anything. You know, if someone loses one leg, I mean, he can manage somehow with one leg using the clutches, or I think they are called clutches. If I'm wrong, you understand. You put under your arm and manage. But your hand also is cut. It means give all these possible tortures. At the end, I will crucify you all. So it means really you will not survive at all in this world. Now, let's continue. قالوا إنا إلى ربنا منقلبون. Now magicians are not magicians anymore. They accepted it. We also understood as magicians in our time. Scientists are demonstrating the magical things. We discussed this a lot, so I don't want to repeat it. Maybe just one sentence. They use the technology as working. They say, look, the technological devices are working. So you see, what we are doing is right, which is correct. We said this is because the technological the technology works because the technology is realized or made out of obeying the order of the universe, and order of the universe works. That's why your technology works. Because you obeyed it. They don't say we obeyed it. What they say, we discovered, but from where? From where you discovered this machine, for example, you and I are using now? From where? By obeying the order of the universe. It means it is available within the order of the universe. It is already working. But you discovered it, and by obeying the order, made it. This is very important because people are carried away because of this weak point. This is the ropes that the magicians, before submitting to Moses' message, they're ropes. And they say, that is what we say is correct, because our magic works. Look at the mentality. Our magic works, so how we interpret the word, how we say that the Pharaoh is the Lord, our Lord, must be correct. That's interpretation. Even your rope works. It doesn't mean that Pharaoh or somebody is the Lord of all human beings here. How do you come to this conclusion? What is the relevance of it? Exactly like now. Because technology works, my interpretation works. What? Nature evolves itself, develops itself, improves itself, perfects itself. Who? What? Matter. It's happening like this. Now, it is happening because the Creator employed them in this way and keep creating them. They cannot go out of the will of the Creator. They cannot go out of the order of the universe, which is the will of the Creator. We should really grasp this. Billions of people, I believe, are carried away with this magic now, exactly like Pharaoh's magicians before they submitted. But of course, I always mention that I'm very hopeful. One day, these modern magicians, which are materialist scientists, will prostrate. They will understand, no. The universe cannot happen by itself as it is now happening. That is what I understood from this. Yep. Let's go now. 125. قالوا إنا إلى ربنا منقلبون. And this are now, let's call it realistic, accepted the reality. Old magicians, ex-magicians, they said, and so we are returning to our Lord. We know that the universe doesn't belong to you. We belong to the Lord of the universe. So you can kill us, but the Lord of the universe, we cannot kill the Lord of the universe. He will take care of us. At the end, we will go to him anyways, because we are from him. And that is what 100. Ila Rabbina lemunqalibun. No, so our death is nothing but returning and uniting ourselves with the universe, the source of the creation of this universe. So we are not really wasting our existence when we die. No, we are still alive, maybe better alive than before, because get out of this cage of body. We're not, that is what the magicians continue talking. You take revenge against us only because we have come to believe in our Lord's messages. That is very important word. Amanna bi ayati Rabbina. Amanna bi ayati Rabbina. Now we can understand both this meaning. Ayat Rab as Moses' prophetic message brought to them, and also the Lord of the universe created the universe in such a way that there are signs, messages to human beings in the existence of the universe. Our Lord's messages. As soon as they came to us, when we received the message, immediately they said, okay, we understood it is from our Lord, it is from our Creator, and they prayed to God, saying that's very important. We have to know. This is a very well-known prayer among the readers or followers of the Quran. Rabbana ifri alayna sabra wa tawaffana muslimin. We have to understand in which context the Prophet Moses is speaking this, and magicians, please Allah, our Lord, shower us with patience in hard times I mean, that is Efri alayna sabran, because sabr is usually related to hard times in our life, and make us die as men who have surrendered themselves to you. That is the point. Not leaving this world as an arrogant man, but leaving this world as somebody who has submitted, surrendered his being to the Lord of the universe. That is the point we have to take for ourselves as well, because we have to be aware that although we are not in that severe position physically, but within ourselves, we may always fall into the generally negligence, not thinking seriously, not being aware of what is happening in my life, and just losing myself in my worldly affairs, which I experience it on almost every time. So we have to really keep awareness and pray also to our Lord, present our need, that I need patience in order to submit myself to you and keep this submission awaken in my own consciousness. Shall we move on? Okay, if you don't say anything, I will continue. Okay, let me go together. All right.
One thing, Brother Ali, anything about the verse when they say that Lord's message as soon as they came to us?
Yeah, as soon as, yeah, what I understand here, as soon as, of course, people, now I feel that we have to talk a lot. Now, لما جاءت ربنا سورة إلا آمنا بآيات ربنا لما جاءت ربنا. It doesn't mean that the prophetic message, it means the prophets bring them. As soon as you hear it, jump into it. I don't think so. I don't think so. Some exaggerated events are misunderstood in the life of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Exaggerated understandings invaded our life. Whatever Prophet says, whatever Qur'an says, as soon as I hear it, I submit. Impossible. People hear it and they don't. We have to understand. What I understand here, بآيات ربنا لما جاءت, when or as soon as it arrives to us, it came to us. When I realize it is the truth, then no hesitation, submit yourself to it and confirm it with no hesitation. That is important. But in order to get the message of the prophets, what do we have to do? From the beginning of today's discussion, I have been really hammering on it. I have to question my reality, and therefore, as a consequence of it, I have to question the reality of the universe. Don't reduce it to just it is apparent face value, but question what it really means. Then you can get the message. When you get the message, if you still hesitated, you lose it. When you get it, you have to submit it, because your reality necessitates this. If you know the truth, come to know the truth and submit yourself. Don't submit yourself. It means you conditioned yourself that you are not going to be a man of truth. You are not going to be a man of truth. That is what I understood from lemma ja'at, this expression. Of course, you can get lemma ja'at either when it comes to me or as soon as it comes to me. But as soon as it comes to me, it means I should really, when I realize that this person is telling me, the prophet is telling me the truth, any prophet, I have to submit to it. And when I realize the truth, I shouldn't hesitate, submit to it, submit myself to it. This is what I understood. Now we have just a few, we will understand, because we discussed and established the foundations of this 27 as well. Let us go fast. The notables among Pharaoh's people said, will you allow Moses and his people to spread corruption on earth and to cause will you allow Moses and his people to spread corruption on earth and to cause your people to abandon you and your gods? Now what I are doing now, according to, because their power, their wealth, everything they expect comes from, because they also share the same understanding with Pharaoh, comes from the Pharaoh's power, Pharaoh's strength. If Pharaoh's power is challenged, ultimately their worldly benefits, bodily benefits are challenged as well. That is why now they are instigating Pharaoh that he has to really get rid of these people so that they will keep their material worldly benefits. So will you allow Moses and his people to spread corruption on earth? Look at the terminology. To spread the yufsidu fil ard, corruption on earth, and to cause your people to abandon you and your gods. It means abandon you, your authority, Pharaoh, and your gods. It means his God is his power. That is what he says. I am God. In the Qur'an, it is described in this way, or in another way, I am the Lord. I am the Lord of the universe. Sorry, Lord of Egypt, in this specific case. Excuse me. Okay, we are back. He replied, we will kill their sons in great numbers and leave their women alive. We have complete power over them. That is what. وَإِنَّا فَوْقَهُمْ قَاهِرُونَ. We can really smash them down. What does it mean? The scholars mentioned a lot of things, but the literal understanding, we will kill their sons and great number, all of them, almost, most of them, and leave their women alive. What does it mean? Pharaoh said, I'm going to kill your sons and leave the women alone. But now, what is it to do with me? I am struggling about this matter. I am struggling about this matter. How do we understand this? I need your help as well. Any comment, any suggestion? I have something in our mind. But I would like to hear yours if you have anything. Because Pharaoh said, I'm going to kill. Now there are some friends here, welcome. And I'm speaking to them as well as to you. I'm going to kill your sons and leave your daughters alive. What do you understand from me? So I am, any comment? Let me see any hands, or I don't think there is no sign of it. Okay, now we understand that sons are manpower, daughters are productive, gives birth. So I want their power to get rid of it, to kill all of them, make them completely powerless, and their productive side, which is good for me, because as they give birth, do something, then the woman produces new slaves. Because whoever is born from a slave is a slave as well, by their own rules. So I will cut off your power, and only what you are good for me, useful for my benefit, I will keep it. That is what I understand from it. Of course, this is not only me who understood this way. Some scholars interpreted this in this verse in this way, and I said this makes sense to me now. For example, okay, sorry, I did something wrong. Now, for example, what do they do? You know, I believe I have a prejudice about it, whether I am right or wrong, that is disputable. Of course, you can say, no, you are wrong. Today's power, especially about belief matters, is based on interpreting creation, interpreting the existence. How do you interpret it? Now, what is going on in the world now? If you teach secularist understanding, you are allowed to teach. You can open the school. You can send your children to learn them. As long as you give support to their ideology, it means supporting secular education. But if you start interpreting the secular education in such a way that it is so, no, it is not really secular now, it is so meaningful, it is so wonderful, we cannot reduce it to meta. Don't mention God even. Just say there must be something beyond it, who is really creating this world, giving existence to this world, and introduces himself to me, to us. Don't say God. Don't say Islam. Don't say Christianity, whatever you believe, but as long as it opens up to God's authority over the universe, therefore over human beings. First, when you become a teacher and teach, impossible. You have to teach geology, zoology, biology, even mathematics, but it is difficult to explain. But I believe mathematics also can be interpreted in two ways. And physics, chemistry, you cannot. So under the name of impartial state, authorities never give any chance to any reference to the creator of the universe while they are explaining it. It is so obvious. Any science researcher cannot publish a scientific article in a journal, science journal, mentioning God or referring to that possibility. We have to be aware. I keep mentioning this because it needs to be really taken seriously. You know, a kind of terrorism, dictatorship is going on in science. What? They are getting the females' production. It means research supporting their ideology, never mentioning God. They are a lot. You can be a very good believer and also scientist, but never mention in your interpretation of the scientific discoveries. That is what killing men, which challenge atheistic ideology, materialistic ideology, and keeping the women alive, it means producing more support to materialist interpretation of the world. That is exactly what is going on in this world today, in the modern Pharaoh system, education system, all over the world. It is so surprising, all over the world, including Muslims. But if a teacher teaches biology in terms of evolution, happening by itself, teaches chemistry, if you do this, it happens. That's how it is. And after the class, goes to the masjid and prays more and more than far. Okay, doesn't matter. That is your personal thing. We don't interfere into people's preference of religion. That is democracy. That's liberalism. Amazing. Amazing. So Moses' advice on the other side, of course, the notables of Pharaoh advised Pharaoh to get rid of these people because they are causing corruption. What? They are undermining their false image of Pharaoh's being the Lord. So Moses reassured his people, seek God's help and be patient. That's what the prophets do. Seek God's help and be patient. It's beautiful. That is beautiful. So this is what we have to take lesson from it. We shouldn't use power as they are using. We have to use the power of our understanding, our belief, our interpretation of existence. And indeed, the earth belongs to God alone. Make sure. No one can own the earth. It means the universe, actually. He grants it to whoever he chooses of his servants. So matter, wealth can be given to anyone. By God again. If someone insists that I'm going to kill you and get your property, he can kill you and get your property. The order of the universe allows you. God says, okay, you can get the property, but you cannot get the Lord of the universe or Lordship of the universe. So he chooses of his servants, he grants the earth. So the ultimate outcome belongs only to the righteous. But at the end, if you are muttaqi, it means conscious of your creator. This word is, anyway, at the end, you will die and all your property will go away. Now, what are you struggling for about this property and fighting for the property, matter, but free your soul, your spirit. That is the problem. As long as you are confident in your existence that you belong to the Lord of the universe, owner of the universe, creator of the universe, then he will reward you. That is the ultimate outcome. If you are righteous, you will get it. If you are truthful to your reality, you will get it. Inshallah, we have to stop here. I know the 11 minutes is already gone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Any comment? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum an alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi hurmati sirri surati al-Fatiha.